Roger, Roger, and Charlie, this is KC9VKV.
Yeah, hi Jim, KC9VKV, K1GZL, returning. Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't on last week. I was in the emergency room down at the Upper Connecticut Valley Hospital. I had a nosebleed. It would not quit. They had to cauterize it, and I spent over 2 hours in the hospital. Plus that, I had laryngitis and a bad cold. But I think I'm coming out of it now. K1GZL, and you're 25 over 9.
Hey, now you're copying my excuses from when I was in school, boy. I would come up with a triple header like that, you know, and they would believe me. But anyway, Charlie, I'm copying you on the Northeast Pennsylvania Milford SDR. Sounding good, sir.
Sure. Oh, that's great. That is great. I think you did get me strong around the Rochester one 2 weeks ago, but that I'm not too sure of. Yeah, we're here, and I don't want to take too much of the time that other people want to get in there. But about what we were discussing, we could work that out with the SDR system there. But boy, I'll tell you, last week at this time, I was not feeling the very best. Jim, go ahead.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. Well, I'm glad you're feeling so much better now. It's not good to not feel good. I detest that more than anything because I usually have a pretty good schedule of what I want to do that day, and I want to get to it, and if I don't feel like getting to it, it's just a very awkward situation. So I'm glad that you're on the mend, Roger.
Sure. Okay, yeah, right now it seems to be okay. It seems to be, so we'll just keep plugging along here. Just to give you an idea how you sound, you're a good copy, beautiful.
A pretty good schedule of what I want to do that day, and I want to get to it, and if I don't feel like getting to it, it's just a very awkward situation. So I'm glad that you're on the mend, Roger.
Okay, I hope you copied that, Jim. Go ahead.
I did, sir. Yeah, I've been playing around with my ALC a little bit, and so I can hear it kind of a little more activity in the average peak modulation than normal. So I might want to adjust down that just a little bit. But for now, it's close enough for government work. Roger.
Roger.
Okay. Are you getting me better directly near Louisville? Or are you getting me better out of Pennsylvania? It probably should be Pennsylvania due to the skip.
I'm getting your let's see here, about 7 dB to 8 dB above my noise level direct, and then on the Milford SDR, it looks like you're like a 10 or a 12 dB above there, Roger. So I'm getting you a little bit better on the SDR this time.
Okay, Roger on that. So it's all skip difference. By the way, we have one whale of a snowstorm heading this way. It should begin tomorrow night, and it could be a foot and a half or maybe more than that if it really gets cranking. It'll be a dry, powdery snow, and we had 1 inch today, so we're up to 122 inches for the season so far on our snowfall. But you sound great, Jim, and I'll stick, I'll work out whatever you want to work out, on what we were discussing on the narrative there at K9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Yeah, I just haven't found the right stuff. have not found the right stuff at the moment, but I'm on the lookout, and just as soon as I find it, I'll let you know, and we'll be able to take off from there. Would you say my signal? What's my signal strength up there, Charlie?
Charlie.
Right now, you're 20 to 25 over 9. This morning I was working VK3MO here on 40 with this damaged antenna, and I'm not even aimed down there, and he was peaking 25 over 9.
Roger that. Now, it's your driven element that's in the snow. Is that a Roger?
Roger.
Well, it's not in the snow. It's collapsed. It is collapsed. Try to visualize a diamond-shaped wire quad, okay? All three elements normally lined up. So what happened on the 23rd of October, of course, 2018, we had a heavy, heavy wet snow, and I mean the thing was so heavy on a shovel, oh my gosh, it weighed a ton. That thing broke. The rope way up between two poles, which held up the top of the quad, it just broke, and then it fell forward and down, and it fell halfway down toward the bottom of the quad, and it's in a crazy angle. It's leaning forward, and unfortunately, well, my SWR 2.6 to 2.7 to 1. However, the darn thing gets into Australia, and this morning, of course, Ian has a tremendous gain on his antenna, which is two stacked rhombics, one on top of the other, and I dropped it down to 27 watts, and he was copying me at 10 over 9.
Because I usually have
Okay, I have Ian on here. I don't know if I can find him or not.
Keyword Chief.
Just a sec. I don't want to take too much time on this.
Hello, 3 Mike Oscar near Melbourne in southeast Australia. Yeah, you're 25 over 9, Charlie. Mike, you're
Okay, that was Ian this morning. Go ahead.
Oh, well, he's sounding pretty good there. Sounding pretty good. I was just going to suggest, that 2, standing wave of 2, what is that, 7 or 8%?
Yeah, more than that. For one thing, when I can put out 1,500 watts, okay, with the 1,500, my grid drive itself is 20 or 19 or 20. My grid drive right now is 5. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, you need to keep a manual antenna tuner on the shelf for just these kinds of occasions. Roger?
Roger.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I should do that. Absolutely should do that, Jim, and I'm now thinking about that. I am now thinking about that, but I've had so many expenses and so on, I have to be very, very careful. It's going to be into April before I could get this antenna fixed, but what the heck? It works very well. Why it does, I don't know. Why it works as well as it does, but the director and the reflector are in their normal position, but with the collapse of the driven element, I'm sure I'm not getting much RF into the reflector of director. They're not lined up properly or anything. It's a complete. I wouldn't say a disaster. If it were a disaster, I'd be 100% shorter and I'd be off the air. But it's awful to wake up one morning, look out, and the driven element is not there, and it had collapsed down on other ropes. Oh boy, what a it was a mess, and it's still up there, but it hasn't broken anymore. And if it breaks anymore, I'll get off the air on 40. Go ahead.
Roger that, Charlie. I was just thinking, you could probably consult eBay, and I would, if I did eBay for a antenna tuner, I would go ahead and get a 3kW antenna tuner, but you could probably pick one of those up for about half price, and being 3kW, it's probably pretty likely that there wouldn't be much difficulty in restoring it to proper operating condition, maybe a little clean up there and a little burnishing on the load coil and all that stuff, but you could probably, like I say, about half price on eBay, Roger.
Roger.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I've had some other bills I've got to catch up on and all that sort of thing. I still have a little bit of a cough on this cold, so excuse me, I get that tickling sensation, but compared to what I was feeling the other day, over in this last week, it's been terrible. It's been terrible health-wise, but we're trying to get a buy on it. Okay, I'll sign with you on this one, and we'll try to catch you on. Next. And I'll let you know how much snow we ended up with. It's going to be quite a storm. The heaviest snow will be south of us, probably, about 50, 75 miles. They may get 20 to 30 inches down there. And you get down to Boston, it'll be snow turning to freezing rain and back to snow. Whereas there'll be no changeover up here. It'll just stay cool. Then next week, around Wednesday next week, we have another storm, a snowstorm, but not as much. But we're getting pretty well loaded up here with snow. Okay, Jim, I'll turn it back to you, and I appreciate your picking me up. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Always a pleasure.
Roger, likewise, Charlie, always a pleasure. And you were doing, I switched over to my receiver, and your last transmission, you were 8 dB above my residual noise level. So it's a pretty good signal for the antenna being in the shape that it's in. So hopefully, as we approach summer, we can get closer to getting a bucket truck in there and kind of getting that thing restrung, and your signal will be back up to 15 over. So 3's for now, Charlie, and I'm still looking for the material. So it'll just be a little while before I have the ability to find that, and I'll get up with you just as soon as I do. So 3's up towards Canada, Charlie, and we'll catch you later.